The statement from the UN chief follows incidents in KZN targeting Ghanaian and other African nationals over their immigration status in the country. The South African government, including the police ministry, has repudiated the attacks as directly opposite to the values upon which the country's democracy was founded. The Secretary General recalled that South Africa's struggle against apartheid was sustained through international and African solidarity, and that the country's social and economic.
The UN Secretary General has criticized the attacks on Africans in South Africa. It seems like South Africans are very angry about other black Africans who have not done anything to harm them.
Do not be surprised. Do not be surprised.
The UN Secretary General Antonio has finally come out to condemn the acts South Africans are committing to other foreigners in their country. According to him, he said if this act continues, that they will have to take drastic actions on South Africa. And if the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, cannot do something about this particular issue, the UN would have to take over. Let's take a look at the videos, then we'll be right back.
The statement from the UN chief follows incidents in KZN targeting Ghanaian and other African nationals over their immigration status in the country. The South African government, including the police ministry, has repudiated the attacks as directly opposite to the values upon which the country's democracy was founded. The Secretary General recalled that South Africa's struggle against apartheid was sustained through international and African solidarity, and that the country's social and economic development has long been shaped by the coexistence and contributions of people from South Africa, the African continent, and beyond. Recognizing the complex socio-economic challenges, the SG underscored that addressing concerns always had to be conducted lawfully without discrimination. He also noted the clear public messages by South African authorities reaffirming that no individual or group had the right to take the law into their own hands, and that those responsible for criminal acts would be investigated and held accountable in accordance with the law. He urged the investigations to be prompt, thorough, independent, and impartial, and said the UN stood ready to continue engaging in efforts to de-escalate tensions, counter incitement, protect those at risk, and strengthen social cohesion. Earlier, President Cyril Ramaphosa said the country should never allow the legitimate concerns of communities about illegal migration to breed prejudice towards fellow Africans. Sherwin Bryceby's SABC News, New York.
The UN Secretary General has criticized the attacks on Africans in South Africa. It seems like South Africans are very angry about other black Africans who have not done anything to harm them. The people who've taken everything away from them are basically going about their business, but South Africans have now taken to physically attacking and beating up other Africans who are just in South Africa. My question is, or my suggestion is, other leaders, all African leaders must condemn the xenophobic attack on other Africans, and actually other African countries must take a stance and say they will not trade with South Africa unless they stop these attacks on other Africans. It's very painful to see beloved people of South Africa just venting their frustration on other Africans. Africans are not the source of your problems. It's very distressing to see, instead of the unification of Africa, you're just attacking other Africans, and those attacks are not going to bring you jobs. It's not they. Even if all the Africans leave South Africa, your lives are not going to improve, because that's not the source of your problems.
Do not be surprised. Do not be surprised when the UN or USA condemns these attacks and then they send their soldiers, just like they did in Nigeria. And now the Mali foreign minister did. Don't be surprised. I told you that they're going to use this for invasion. So, but hey, don't listen to Began. I mean, they're already in Cape Town. The US Marines are already in Cape Town, exercising, helping to train the metropolis there without any authorization from the state. KZN is held by IFP and DA. So don't be surprised if they are going to do the same thing as well.
Right now I am at school. I am studying to be a marketing director. Where am I going to work if these foreigners are gonna come and I'm gonna want 40,000 and she's gonna want 5,000? Who are they going to take? They're gonna take the one for 5,000, and it's not even us for fighting for our struggle, for fighting for our rights. Where are we supposed to prosper if we are not supposed to prosper in South Africa? We are tired as the youth of South Africa. Right now we go to school. We don't have a certainty whether we are going to get jobs or not. And the government thinks it's okay. The government thinks it's okay to keep on treating us like this. And it's gonna get to a point where the youth is really fed up. It's gonna get to a point where the youth is fed up. We are already fed up. And you are gonna get action from us. I plead with the youth to join March and March. It is not a political party. We are a movement that is fighting for the rights of South Africans. We are a movement that is fighting for the liberation of South Africans. This is our country. If we are not supposed to prosper here, if we try and we fight for our rights and they send vans. Yesterday we were marching in...
Go back to your countries. We are tired of you guys. Go back to your countries. Take this nonsense. You destroy your country. You come to South Africa to destroy your country.
We know you, the media, are trying to label us as xenophobic, as for hating other Africans. We love our fellow brothers. We know their contribution in our struggle as South Africans. We know that they all contributed, but we are saying migration must be lawful. Document everybody.
If Nigeria had continued to be better than it used to be, Nigerians may not be trooping down to South Africa in search of greener pasture. But then, does that justify anything for South Africans to be unleashing mayhem to foreigners, to immigrants in their country? The answer is no. I give you a scenario. Some years ago, while I was living in Germany, I know a company, I don't want to mention the name, that was employing South Africans direct from South Africa down to Germany. This company was employing South Africans direct. Even though it was not only South Africans, people were being employed from different parts of the world down to Germany. The bigger question I'm asking to South Africans through this channel is this: how would you feel if Germans wakes up one morning and begin to tell you, we no longer want you in this country, we want you to go back to your country? How would you feel? Now, what South Africans are demonstrating is an incapacitation in building their nation. They have not been able to build their country such that it will be envied by people across the globe. They have not been able to expand their economy such that they will be the one begging people to come into their country to work, because they will definitely have shortage of manpower if their economy grows to that very enviable length. In similitude to what we have in Germany today, what we have in the United...
Now that the UN Secretary General has, made a statement concerning the South African xenophobic attacks on foreigners, let's see how the outcome is gonna be. I don't know how long South Africans are gonna keep attacking foreigners in their country. I am not against them defending their country, but they have the right way to do it. You have your government, march to the government office and let them know the right thing. Send away illegal immigrants and let them, go back to their country. Those who are living legally can be able to stay and work. So I don't see any reason why, because now South Africans are chasing away all foreigners. It is no longer illegal immigrants. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to like the video, share and subscribe.